Welcome back everyone in the series of C programming language. In this lecture, we're going to see the looping statements, how to write the loops in any programming environment. But specifically, we are targeting C programming language here, right? Okay, so let us first understand what is looping statement and what it is necessary. Then we'll see what are the different types of loops supports in C programming, right? Okay. What is the purpose of C looping statement? See, the purpose of looping statement in programming is to enable the repetition of a block of code multiple times based on specified condition. Okay, so I'm just do the box on the important points in the definition or in the purpose. Repetition of block of code, how many times? Multiple times. How to know the how many times? It will be depend on the specified condition. So means from the definition we can conclude this. Suppose there is a statement or group of statement. Okay, suppose there is a statement. I write here a equal to 5 plus 2. Okay, and then I write a plus plus. Okay, so there is a two statement, right? Two statement. It is also possible that sometimes I want to just print this particular symbol into the screen multiple times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. So what I need to do in traditional programming environment, if suppose I want to print this asterisk 10 times, I need to write this printf statement 10 times, correct? Similarly, suppose I want to repeat this two piece of code, we can say block of statement, right? So this block have more than one statement, that is two statement, and this block have only one statement, right? So in both scenario, if I want to repeat this operation 5 times, or let us take a better example to make you understand. Suppose I want to perform design a multiplication table of 2. So what we are doing normally, see, we are doing repeated multiplication task. It is repeated multiplication task. Got it? So what loop helps us now, see the repetition of block of code multiple times. So if I want to perform this multiplication more than once, so instead of just repeating c equal to a into b, c equal to again a into b, and again c equal to a into b, we can use loop statement so that we'll write this statement only once and it will execute up to 10 times, because normally in multiplication table we go up to 10, right? So to do this kind of stuffs, loop can help us. So this is called looping. Loop in a simple English term, you are surrounding in one loop or one circle, you are repeating, you are unable to came out. Okay, so now here our looping statement will be the controlled looping statement. Controlled looping statement, that is very much important, else our loop will be infinite. So looping helps automate repetitive task. Okay, here you can see this is the repetitive task, right? The example I have taken to print a string 10 times, so repeated task, making code more efficient because no need to repeat the task again and again, and make the coding concise and easier to manage. Okay, so to support, we'll understand more, we engage with the code in the looping, don't worry. To support this mechanism, C programming comes with 3 different types of looping and constructs. One is the for loop, second one is the while loop, and third one is the do while loop. In this lecture, I'm going to specifically talk about the first variant of the looping statement, that is the for loop. Other two we'll discuss in separately. Okay, so now let us see the basic syntax of the looping statement directly in the GDB compiler, or let us write here just once. Let us write syntax. So we'll start with the keyword for, and a for loop normally will have 3 different statements. Okay, first one is the initialization, must be end with a semicolon. Second one is the condition, and also must be end with a semicolon. And third one is the updation, and then end the parenthesis, and its body will start like if and else. It is the open curly blocks and must be end with a closed curly blocks. So this is the very basic, this is the syntax that we normally write. First part is the initialization, second part is the condition, and third part is the updation. So just note down the syntax. We're going to write a simple code, okay, with the help of a for loop to print a multiplication table of a number and to see how that for loop works. Okay, fine. So let's go back to the GDB compiler. Okay, so let us build here. So I am taking a number, printf, we're going to ask the user enter a number to print its multiplication table, right? Okay, let us take the input from the user. Done, it's over. So now what is the syntax? Initialization, condition, and updation. Initialization means what do you mean by initialization? Okay, let me write it here. Okay, so that we no need to go back again and again. So our syntax is for loop initialization, right? So let us write initialization followed by condition and then updation, and the body will start, right? Okay, what do you mean by initialization? In the very beginning of our course, we have discussed about two things: variable declaration and initialization, right? So whatever the times loop going to execute, it controls by a loop control variable. So please note down another point. Loop control variable means how many times the body of loop will execute. Number of times body of loop will execute. Okay, so for the example, I have taken a multiplication table example. So how are we going to print it? Suppose I want to take a multiplication table of 2. Okay, I want to print it in this fashion. Okay, so see, in one side, one operand is fixed, but other operand is keep incrementing by 1. Okay, so here for the loop control variable, we will start with 1. So we'll initialize it to 1, and it will go up to 10. So this will be the condition. It will go up to 10. Okay, so number should be less than equal to 10, and number should be start with 1. And see, when I going to the second round of execution, what is the difference between these two? Plus 1. Here also plus 1. So the updation will be done by plus 1. Whom? The loop control variable. Loop control variable. So here the loop control variable need to be initialized and declared here. So we have two different way I can do. One is C89, another is C99. So I'm going to discuss you both of them. So let us see first what C89 means. C89 means, C89 tells that declare the loop control variable before you should use it in the loop. So let us declare. So I've declared it, right? Okay, now write the for loop. So I started with 0. So this is called initialization. So that means it started with 1 multiplication table, sorry. If I multiply it 0, answer will be 0. So there is no use of initialize with the 0, right? So I have done the initialization. Okay, up to what number I want to execute. So this will be the condition. I want up to 10. Okay, what is the difference between two iterations? First value is 1, second value will be 2. So I can write increment by 1. So I hope you remember this operator. We have already discussed this is increment operator. So here you can use any variant, pre-increment or post-increment. It will perform the same way, right? So now see here, I have done my initialization, I have done my condition, and I have done my updation. So now let us write some stuffs over here, and let me just show you how that particular things work. Okay, so I'm going to print the table. Okay, table of that number that given. Okay, so percentage d going to multiply with percentage d, and it's going to print in percentage d, right? So what is the first number I'm going to print? Num. What is the second number I'm going to print? I. Okay, and what is the third number I'm going to print? It is a multiplication between num and I. Okay, after printing I must move the output into the next line, cursor in the next line. Okay, so let's run this and check. So it is asking for a number to give input, so I give in 2. So now here you can see how it works. Yes, done almost. Yes, fine. So we have taken an input and it continues the execution. So let us see how this execution has been done. Okay, up to this we already know, there is no doubt. Okay, up to this there is no issue, simple thing. Now see here, initialization. What initialization tells? Initialization sets the value of the loop control variable. So I started with I equal to 1. Now how program control will do the things? After getting initialized at 1, it will check the condition, because this condition will need to be true so that program control can go inside the body of the loop and can execute the line of statement that you have written. That condition need to be true. So that's why I have written here, if I just scroll up, you can see controlled looping statement, controlled. We'll see a couple of examples when it will be uncontrolled. Don't worry. It is just an introduction of the for loop that I start discussing. Okay. So I start with here 1, and every time before loop control variable going to inside the for loop, it going to test the condition. So it is not testing the condition here. Is it 1 less than equal to 10? Yes, it is true. So if it is true, what you need to do? Go inside and execute. So if it is executing what? It executing 2 multiplied by 1 equal to 2, right? Okay. Now, once this all the line inside the body is get executed, my program control will go up. So now here one point you need to understand. What will happen when my program control after the first time of the execution of the body of the for loop, when my program control will go up, will be the initialization executed against? So please note down here, this syntax that I have written here, the initialization, it only, remember, only executed once. Only executed once. When? First time. Why? Because if it is executed again and again, every time my loop control going up, every time I will be 1, and always it going to print 2 into 1, 2 into 1. Understood? So this point you need to note down. You should remember the initialization statement will execute only once, one and only once, right? But the condition will be tested always, always at the time of entering to the loop body. Always, do not forget, always and once. Similarly, updation also, when my loop control is going up again after the execution, successful execution, remember, successful execution of the body, There is certain scenario when body is not executed, even the condition is true. We'll see it later with the break and continue, right? Separate concept. So on successful execution, my loop control will always go up. And while going up, the updation statement will always executed. So you can consider this is the last statement of the loop body. Last statement. Okay, so now here what I have written in the last statement, I plus plus. What it means I plus plus? It means I started with 1, okay, and then it will update it to 2 because it is increment by 1. Okay, so now I hope you understand. So we started with 1, okay, we check the condition 1 less than equal to 10, true. It's going inside, it prints some stuff here, and it's going up again. While going up in the second time onwards, is directly come to the condition statement, but before it's going up, it's going to execute I plus plus here. So I become 2. So further it's going to check I less than equal to 10. Similarly, this looping will continue. Okay, so now assume that by this continuation, somehow the I is right now 9. So again it will check 9 less than equal to 10. Yes, true. So it is going inside. Again I plus plus. So it's going up. I become 10. So now 10 less than equal to 10. Again true. Going inside. Okay. While going up, it's become 11. I equal to 11. So now the condition will be false. So the condition will be false. What is the condition? I less than equal to 10. It's testing. So it is false. Once it is false, it is come outside of the body. Okay. So let me just write another line so that you can understand here. Printf outside of loop. Okay, and another one here, you can just print the value of I so that you can see value of I while going up, %d. Okay, so you cannot see because this is not the last statement. Last statement will be I plus plus, right? So even though I print I here and even though I print I here, you'll get the same value because this execution is hidden from our side. Okay, we cannot see when compiler going to evaluate it. So value of I while entering in the loop. Okay, you can see any change here. Let's execute this and see. So I have to print the multiplication table of 3. Now see, while it is entering, while it is entering, the value of I is 1. While it is exiting, that is going up, is 1. Entering again 2, going up it is 2. So means when it is going up is actually value is incremented by 1 because of this statement, right? So why it is necessary? Let me show you why it is necessary. Now suppose that I forget to put the updation. What will happen? Run it. Now see, that is called infinite loop. Okay, that is called infinite loop. That the thing I have written here, controlled. So now what is happened here? What is happened here? See, when I miss the updation, the initial value of I remain unchanged. So updation is necessary. So that's why all the three part, initialization, condition and updation is very much necessary. So I hope you understand the basic programming structure or basic syntax of the for loop. In the next video, we'll see more detailing about the for loop. Okay, so please do like my videos and subscribe my channel, and please share the video with your friends. Thank you.